Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
Election day is just 3 days away and things are heating up. Former President Trump in the land of Lincoln tonight stumping for GOP candidates. What you need to know for Tuesday's primary.
I'm so surprised to see so many people that would take time out of their schedule to just come over here and wish me a happy birthday, but thank you. Lord bless all of you.
A local World War II hero gets a big surprise for his 100th birthday. The special ride bringing back memories from ages past. Plus, a parade of colors fills downtown Rockford as Pride Month begins to wind down. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Thanks for joining us tonight. In just over an hour, former President Trump will hold a rally in Western Illinois ahead of Tuesday's primary elections. The event just outside Quincy is to stump for Congresswoman Mary Miller. Miller is in a close primary with Congressman Rodney Davis due to new redistricting lines. Trump hasn't endorsed a Republican candidate for governor yet, but we do know frontrunner Darren Bailey will be at tonight's event. Our sister stations are at the Adams County Fairgrounds tonight. They say there are thousands of people there already. Some have been lined up since 10 this morning. We'll have more on that rally coming up tonight at 10. The Illinois primary is on Tuesday. Polls open at 6 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. If you are in a line at 7, you can still vote. If you haven't registered yet, you can do that at your polling location. You need to make sure that you bring 2 forms of ID, including one that has your address. In the primary, you will need to declare a political affiliation. You can change which party you vote for every primary here in Illinois. Protests across the country today after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade, leaving the right of abortions up to each state. Yesterday, people on both sides stood with signs outside the courthouse in Rockford despite the rain. Women and men marched through the streets of Chicago once again today, protesting that ruling. Tomorrow, there is a We Won't Go Back rally for women's rights outside the old Lee County Courthouse in Dixon at 2. In the wake of the landmark ruling, those on both sides of the issue are wondering what's next. Hannah Brandt is in Washington to explain where things go from here.
Protesters gathered in front of a fenced and guarded Supreme Court on Saturday. Some were sad and angry that the court overturned the 50-year-old Roe v. Wade ruling and gave states the power to ban or limit abortions.
When it comes to my own body that doesn't affect anybody else, I can't make my own choice.
And President Biden echoed that frustration.
I think the Supreme Court has made some terrible decisions.
The president says his administration will closely monitor new anti-abortion state laws.
We're going to take actions to protect women's rights and reproductive health.
Actions like protecting the right to travel to other states to get abortions and ensuring access to abortion medication. Right now, Democrats in Congress don't have the votes to pass pro-choice legislation, which is why House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says abortion rights will be a centerpiece of the upcoming election.
A woman's right to choose reproductive freedom is on the ballot in November.
But America remains divided on the issue, even those protesting outside the Supreme Court.
I'm grateful that they gave it to each state to decide, but I wish they would have just made it illegal across the board.
Prominent Republicans have signaled that they may push for a nationwide abortion ban if they win control of Congress in November. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says their work is far from done.
Well, first and foremost, I believe in saving every life possible.
In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
A Purple Heart winner and World War II veteran gets a hero surprise as he celebrates his 100th birthday. Dozens of cars lined up and drove past Eugene Kleindl's home in Capron for a drive-by parade. Kleindl enlisted in the Army in 1942 and served as a medic and dental tech, landing in Normandy, then going to Rhineland and Central Europe. He says his faith in the Lord helped him through life. He says the secret to living a long, healthy life is to keep moving.
Being 100, it jolts you a little bit, you know. You quite can't figure out how in the world you could live that long. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all my good friends and the folks that live with me, my granddaughter Jessica and her family. They keep me active too, especially the 2 kids.
Kleindl also got to take a ride in one of the old Army Jeeps. The parade was organized by the Veterans Assistance Commission of Boone County. Pride celebrations continue in the state line today. Nikel Delgado spent the day in downtown Rockford for a little bit of a different event. Many fun runs are 5Ks or 3Ks, but Nikel, this one was something that everyone could get involved in.
That's right, Marissa. Everyone had a blast at the second annual Pride Point 1K run. That's right, the race is only 328 feet for folks who walk, dance, or run.
This is the first Pride parade thing I've been to in 20 years.
Rainbows, tutus, and even high heels. Eric McDade brought his nieces, Abby and Nora, to the Pride Point 1K run in downtown Rockford. Eric says not only is this a fun event, but it is supporting a great cause.
We're excited to be here to do the race and to be here for obviously the gay community and just to promote love and peace amongst everybody.
The race started outside the office, and while it didn't take people long to finish, it wasn't about how long they walked, but the message they gave to the community. Chelsea Meyer tells me events like these are important because it shows how much the country has grown.
Coming up on the 53rd anniversary of the Stonewall riots that happened in 1969, I think that this is huge just to see how much progress our country has made, but we still have so much more growing to do.
Lisa Tyler believes this is another fun opportunity for people to support each other.
Spreading awareness is our huge goal, and maybe there's someone that's here today that hasn't really been immersed in this community. They can see how full of love it is and how inclusive everyone is.
Eric tells me he is happy to see the community coming together, spreading love.
Well, I think it's important just to show the strength of the community and people coming together, gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever category you fit in. I think it's a place for everybody.
A portion of the proceeds will go to the Liam Foundation, providing safe and welcoming facilities, offering support, services, and resources, and more to the LGBTQIA+ community. Marissa?
All right, thanks, Nikel. The rain and storms are causing a lot of outdoor events today to either cancel or have to come up with rain dates. Belvidere's Heritage Days had a full schedule of events today, including a paint on state and a car show. This morning, organizers, though, decided instead of trying to fight the rain, they canceled today's activities and pushed everything over until tomorrow. Paint on State is now 9 until 1. The Duck Derby is at 10 and the car show judging is at noon. The parade is still scheduled for 3 o'clock tomorrow, and it all wraps up with fireworks at dusk. Tonight was also supposed to be a free dress rehearsal for the Phantom Regiment. The Drum Corps is starting its competitive season next week in Detroit. They were going to show off their skills at Auburn High School, but because of the rain, it's been pushed until tomorrow. You can check them out tomorrow night at NIU's Husky Stadium at 7:30. Welcome back. One person is killed after a suspect shoots 3 people in a Bolingbrook store this morning. It happened around 6:30 at the WeatherTech factory store. Police say after shooting 3 people, the suspect left the building but was arrested 3 hours later. One person is in critical condition. The other has been released from the hospital. No word on if the suspect is an employee of WeatherTech and what led to that shooting. And that shooting comes as President Biden signs one of the toughest gun bills in decades. The now law overwhelmingly passed the House last night after going through the Senate. 14 House Republicans voted in favor, including Illinois' Adam Kinzinger. It expands criminal background checks for people under 21 and keeps domestic violence offenders from buying guns. This comes after several mass shootings in the last few weeks, including the one at Tops grocery store in Buffalo that killed 10 and the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas that killed 19 students and 2 teachers.
There's so many we've gotten to know who lost their souls to an epidemic of gun violence. They lost their child, their husband, their wife. Nothing is going to fill that void in their hearts. But they led the way, so other families will not have the experience and the pain and trauma that they had to live through.
Most of the bill's $13 billion cost will help bolster mental health programs and aid schools targeted in mass shootings.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, it finally rained this morning, and we actually got a considerable amount of rain for most of us across the state line. The Rockford Airport actually recorded just under 9/10 of an inch. Sterling was actually over an inch of rainfall from all the what we got this morning with those showers and those storms that moved through earlier on into the day. We're continuing to see those drought conditions developing, especially to our south and southeast, so this spells very good news for a lot of us under those abnormally dry conditions that we're still continuing to try and dig ourselves out of. We're still running at a deficit for the year as well as the month, despite all that rain this morning, but that definitely helped to put a dent in it. All those rain showers currently moving off. We are watching these storms that are developing off to the south and southwest as those will get ready to move into the area, or at least toward the south of our viewing area, over the next couple of hours. We're monitoring those for potential development of some potential severe weather as they continue to work into our area. We're still dealing with those overcast conditions here today. Very breezy as well out there with a SkyTrack camera overlooking Freeport. Not really as much of a good golf day as it was yesterday, where temperatures were back up into the 90s. We only made it up into the upper 70s here today, quite a bit cooler than where we were yesterday. Some areas are even 20 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. The temperatures today only made it up into the upper 70s. A couple spots made it up into the 80s. Officially, our high so far in Rockford's at 77, 72 in Janesville, 72 Monroe, 81 down in Sterling is the only spot on that map that made it up into the 80s. Temperatures right now continue right around that area as well. We're at 75 now in Rockford, picking up some rain showers. 73 in Freeport and 80 down in Sterling. Notice the temperatures warm as we get a little bit further south. They got quite a bit more clearing this afternoon. That's what we were a little bit more expecting to move a little bit further north here this afternoon. We were expecting temperatures to get closer to those 80s. They remained a little bit further to the south, and that's why we do see that potential for that severe weather remaining a little bit further south as well. That slight risk now parts of Whiteside and Lee counties, level 2 out of 5. Level 1 out of 5 covers the rest of most of the state line a little bit further to the south of the area. We are still monitoring that severe thunderstorm watch. That remains to the south of our viewing area. None of our counties are in that severe thunderstorm watch, but it does last until midnight tonight. Most of these storms will develop a little bit further to the south of our viewing area because that's where all the warmer weather is. That's where we had temperatures that made it up into the 80s, so we're continuing to watch those as they move through. Those are the stronger showers and storms that continue to work their way through, but notice most of those will stay a little bit further to the south. We might get clipped by 1 or 2 as we get later on into the afternoon, but not really huge a chance for most of those to move in. Temperatures though tonight still make it down into the 60s, 65 degrees. We're back up into the 70s again tomorrow, but a lot more sunshine than what we had today. A very comfortable but breezy afternoon. Temperatures continue to work their way through. We get clearing overnight tonight. That continues over the next couple of days. Cooler weather is expected in the next couple of days as well, with a little bit of a dip in the jet stream, but that lifts a little bit back further north as we get later on into the back half of the week. So our 7-day forecast continues to remain a little bit cooler, at least to the start. We're at 78 for Sunday, 80 for Monday. But then, Marissa, our temperatures start the upswing again as our temperatures rise back up into the upper 80s, even into the 90s. We don't get another chance for some rain showers until Wednesday and then again on Friday.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
There are lots of summer basketball camps in the Rockford area, but only one has an NBA All-Star involved in it. That's the Fred VanVleet camp. The 2-day Fred VanVleet summer camp opened today at Auburn High School, where VanVleet went to school. After a brief warm-up, the kids were greeted by VanVleet. When they had their pictures taken with the Toronto Raptors guard, what a memento that is. Then it was time to get to work. Kids in grades kindergarten through 12 were put through a series of basketball drills by a large team of instructors. The kids we talked to said they loved it.
Honestly, the drills, the constructors, it's just fun. And meeting all these people, all these new people, it's fun.
It's good. It's basically like everything I do at basketball practice, basically.
The campers will be back again tomorrow for another day of fun. Yesterday, it was Kyle Hendricks who helped carry the Cubs to a 3-0 shutout win over their NL Central rivals. Adrian Sampson would start on the mound today to try and keep things rolling in St. Louis. But it would be the Cardinals to take the lead in the first inning. Brendan Donovan flares it down the line. Fair ball and 2 runners will score. Cardinals on top 2-0. St. Louis had the lead 3-1 going into the 8th, but then Rafael Ortega stepped up to the plate. This one is in the air. It's tracking deep to right field. It looks like it's going to get out of there, and it does. That 2-run home run tied the game at 3 apiece. But the Cardinals would tack on 2 more runs in the bottom of the 8th to slide out of this one with a win, 5-3. The White Sox were looking to finally capture one in this series with the Orioles today in Chicago, but this solar homer in the 3rd from Jorge Mateo would give the Orioles the lead 1-0. But it was Luis Robert for the White Sox who had an answer. He hits this one here, actually breaks his bat. This one goes to right center field. Hayes couldn't make the play, and that brought Sosa across home plate. That squared things up at 1. Then it would be Austin Hayes in the 7th to give the Orioles a commanding lead. He booms this one to center field all the way back to the wall, and they would tack on 3 more runs. 6-1 the score. The White Sox would add another run in the 9th, but would lose this one 6-2. The Chicago Bears have officially signed top 2022 draft pick cornerback Kyler Gordon to a 4-year contract. Gordon was the number 39 pick overall in the draft this year. He comes from the University of Washington, where he appeared in 33 games over 4 seasons with the Huskies. He became a full-time starter last season while also capturing a first-team All-Pac-12 title with his career high of 46 tackles and 9 pass breakups. Gordon is now the 11th of 12 draft picks to officially sign with the Bears. The only one who remains is Jaquan Brisker. It was moving day at Congressional Country Club for the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. This is the 3rd of 5 majors for the women this season. KPMG announced this week that they were increasing their purse size to a historic $9 million. Here's a look at where the leaderboard stands after round 3. Inji Chun still sits in solo first at 8 under. She's en route to her 3rd career major. Then 3 names tied in second: Haijin Cho, Se-Young Kim, and Lexi Thompson. Thompson is on a quest to capture her 2nd major title and 1st win in 3 years.
We're going to be sunny for the next couple of days and a little bit cooler, but we return to the heat toward next week.
That's it for us. Have a great night.